Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, it's time to talk about another one of these football manager features that is, I think, well intended, but doesn't really work all that well. Let's talk quickly about feuds with other managers. So, I mean, you know the way that I do press conferences, right? Like, I went through this press conference. I just clicked on the second thing from the left. I didn't read any of the questions because why? Who cares? It doesn't matter. I want the press to like me. There's one way to do that. You choose the second from the left. Right. And so, oh, yes, I'm keen to move on after a good result. We won this match 2-1. It was a little bit closer than it should have been against Tapu Timu Youth. We actually had some poor performances by guys in the midfield. But you can see this. How much do you think the negative exchange between Liatama Viali and yourself affected the result for you out there? And I said it didn't do much at all. We had a chat after the match, cleared a few things up. We're pleased with the result. We can all move on now. And this Liatama Vaili is the name of the opposition's manager. And his response is, if that's how he saw, then more power to him. But as far as I'm concerned, I've still got very little time for him. And no amount of post-match groveling is going to change that. I mean, what exactly is the problem, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here exactly. He questioned my mentality, right? And, like, that's it. Right. I mean, okay, he's a guy who had a new job. So did I. Right. I mean, that's like about it. Right. There's no other sort of media thing that, I can tell that is going on that's of any sort of use to me. In fact, when I look right here, it says that his relationship with me is good. Now, he does have, he's volatile and plays mind games and is confrontational. But if this is what you call playing mind games, I mean, what does this even mean? I don't even care about any of this stuff, right? I don't really care what he thinks of me or what he says about me or anything like that. That's the problem that you have here, right? So it would be pretty cool if you had to, like, interact with other managers and there were guys who, like, maybe liked you actually, but they acted like they didn't, or like some sort of strange thing like that was going on. That would be pretty interesting. But the way that this actually plays out in game is it seems just like 100% random, and all of a sudden it's like you're in the midst of some sort of feud that they're playing up in the media, whereas in reality there is no feud and it doesn't really matter. I mean, so what's the point of that, right? Is it supposed to, help a little bit with immersion, or is it am I supposed to have this like idea in my head of, okay, well, this guy really doesn't like me, and so I'm going to have to be careful about dealing with him, or in the future, I'm not going to be able to buy a player from him. I mean, it's an amateur league, so I can get whoever I want anyway. Nobody's paying any money for anybody, right? I mean, that's kind of the question, right? I mean, if I were looking into ways to fix this, right, I would want to have a system in which, the relationships that you have in the game actually kind of matter, right? And aren't just sort of like totally random. And you can see here, so this is interesting when I look at my actual relationships, right? I mean, Han Jong-sung now sees me as a rival because I fired him, right? The rest of these guys are all players, and then there are a couple of journalists that I have fairly good, and then here very close relationships. So this is the thing, right? If you ask why I don't take the press conferences seriously, this is the reason why. Because if you choose a second from the left, you end up with very close relationships with all the journalists, right? Which is like totally bizarre. It's a broken system, right? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all, right? And so this manager I'm supposed to have a feud with doesn't even show up on my relationship screen. Right? I mean, well, what is this? Where does it exist? Why is this even in the game? I mean, if this is supposed to be like some sort of flavor or color or something like that, they don't really do a good job about this, right? Really. I mean, it's just so, I don't know. I guess the right way to put this, right? If you've seen the video that was popular a little while ago, which is called, what is it? It's rude to suck at Warcraft or whatever it was called, and they talk a little bit about sort of video game controversies and drama and stuff like that. That's kind of created and is completely fictional and has nothing to do with the actual game itself. That's what we're looking at here. The problem that we have with this particular situation is that there's no in-game reason for me to be upset with this manager. There's no reason for him to be upset with me other than the fact that I've beaten their team twice now. Right? I mean, other than that, there's like nothing going on. There's no reason for there to be any sort of controversy or any sort of upset feelings or whatever. And yet I've got to deal with like sort of playing around this as if it were a real thing, right? I don't know. It's like if you're writing a book, right, and you want to write about how something is really scary, you don't write and say it was scary. You describe how it's scary. You help lead the reader along and help make them feel like it's scary, right? If you have this sort of situation where there's tension brewing between you and another manager and the game is trying to create that, you need to feel that. You need to feel that it's the case and not have it just sort of be whisked around in the media as if it were something that you should like automatically know by now, right? I mean, it makes absolutely no sense, and it really is a major failure, I would say, on the part of Sports Interactive. I know people have said that, oh, well, they could use, Chat GPT type technology to try to improve a lot of the NPC interactions that you have in Football Manager, which is true. But in this case, for this sort of thing, using that technology will not help you. What you need to do is you need to have a complete reimagination and a re-understanding of the way that controversy works in the sporting world and of the way that it can come out, right? And the way the stories can kind of brew up. The sort of thing that I would like to see would be something more along the lines of, this guy wants a certain player that I don't want to give up. And so because of that, he starts having upset feelings for me. And then, we have a match against each other, and, he instructs one of his players to injure one of my guys, or something happens that, alters the course of the match that I think was caused by him. That's a much more natural way to create this sort of animosity. But just having, the media talk about this and say, oh, well, clearly there's some sort of bad blood between you two. It's like, I don't know what it is you're talking about, and it makes me less likely to want to pay attention to these press conferences, because I can see that the whole thing is just completely made up anyway. I mean, there's got to be a better way to do this. Anyway, they're my thoughts on the subject. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.